Okay. I love the analogy of the clogged pipes that you were talking about in Bernie. I think you had talked about this in San Antonio. And because I have clogged pipes. But I don't want to talk about them because that's just dwelling in the... But I have clogged pipes. So...
It's a good analogy.
It is a great...
Did you hear us talking about it? There's a pond and water feature at the Abraham Hicks Center. And it has fish in it. It's really beautiful. Some headwaters and some falls and a little stream, and it falls into a bigger pond at the bottom. And the water is drawn from the bottom into a pump house where it is filtered and then put back. So the water stays clear and nice for the fish and for the stream. But the water was getting cloudier and cloudier, and it turned out it was because the pipes that were going back in were clogged. So the water was being drawn into the filter, and when the filter was attempting to put it back into the pond, those pipes were clogged with, there's a very hard soil in Texas, it's called caliche. It becomes almost like concrete, and so over time those pipes were clogged. And the remedy was to lay some new pipes. At first they laid them right on top of the ground just to make sure that the theory worked. But once the new pipes were laid, then the water was filtered and put back, and right away the pond cleared up. And the point that we were making with the analogy is that it was so much easier to just lay new pipes than to try to chisel out that hardened habitual thought, caliche, that had been put there over so much time. There's just an easier way of going about getting to where you want to be than going back and trying to figure out everything that went wrong. Esther spent quite a bit of time wanting to know, well, why are the pipes clogged? How does that happen? Well, what difference does it make? They're clogged. Well, what clogged them? Well, what difference does it make? They're clogged. Well, why can't we unclog them? Well, what difference does that make? You can't unclog them. Well, can't we poke something big and strong enough in there? Can't we jackhammer them out? Well, not with a lot of difficulty. The pipes had a lot of angles in them. There was just an easier way of going about it. But the pipes should not have clogged up. Well, that's sort of beside the point to the clear pond that you want, isn't it? Well, maybe, but why are the pipes clogged? And how long have they been clogged? And why didn't someone notice that they were clogged? And why didn't someone keep them from being clogged? In other words, you can spend quite a bit of time on a subject that is really irrelevant to where you want to be. Because the point is, where you are is where you are. And where you want to be is where you want to be. And the path of least resistance from where you are to where you want to be is much easier if you lay new pipes than if you try to unclog all of the old pipes that explain how you got to where you are. Well, how long have I been here? It's not really my fault that I am here. My mother. It's my mother. I blame my mother. I blame my mother for why I'm here, and my first wife, and second one. I blame all of my wives. You get the point.
So actually, in a sense, laying new pipes are really laying new grids. It's really establishing a new grid, because all those other grids, all those other clogged pipes are all playing themselves out. All those grids are playing themselves out. All those pipes, even though they're clogged, just ignore them. You don't have to clean them out. You don't have to get the Drano. You don't have to get the brush and get in there and clean them out. So just ignore them.
Because really well said. Because my point of attraction is what it is. It is what it is. Now, given where I am, how can I get to where I want to be with the greatest ease? And it is so much easier than most are allowing it to be.
I hate when you say that because I know that it's easier than that, and that I don't hate when you say that, but it's annoying.
But you just spoke back to us our brilliant analogy and got it so completely. You said it as well as it's ever been said. So why wouldn't every subject be easily applicable to what you just said? Because you've got clogged pipes, but so what? Remember, you said it to us. So what?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
So what difference does it make what I believe? If my beliefs are in the way of what I want, then don't I want to establish some different beliefs?
Sure.
Our friend has unworthy beliefs and they're in the way of what she wants. Yeah. Isn't it prudent for her to establish some different beliefs?
Absolutely.
And isn't it, now this is the part that you got hung up on, isn't it an easy thing to do? Shouldn't it be as easy as laying new pipes? Conceptually, absolutely. All right, now we choose you. Because you're becoming very difficult. No, we're just kidding. You've clogged our pipes. We cannot deal with you.
I'm pretty powerful if I've clogged your pipes. Okay, so
we laid new pipes.
Okay. I'll do the next. Why am I up here? I'm up here because I want to traffic in those high flying frequencies. I want to traffic in inspiration, and love,
you often do.
Passion, but I don't feel like I do.
Well, then do it more.
I get stuck.
Well, stop it.
Okay. So
stop saying it is really what we mean.
Well, yeah.
Stop focusing there.
But I'm here, and we're having a conversation.
Yeah, you're here.
And
Your
I need
pipes
some
are clogged.
coaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
but our coaching's getting really boring. That's it. That's all we've got. And
I guess it's like, because I've been practicing and I've listened to all the CDs, blah, 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 the whole thing. I'm a very smart rat. I'm a very kind of like, I get it. And, all right.
Well, remember this. Let's say you have 3 subjects that are active in you often.
Yeah.
In fact, these 3 subjects pretty much dominate what you're thinking about. And 2 of them are problematic. You really want them, however. And one of them, you fly high every time you think about it. Everything about that is easy. What we're saying to you is if you could dominate your thought patterns with the one, the other 2 would come into alignment. Because the 2 are clogging pipes, the 1 is clearing pipes.
Yeah, just focus on that.
So it is that simple. But why is it not that simple? Because I've got momentum going. So I've got momentum going, so it doesn't feel like I'm thinking my thoughts, Abraham. It feels like my thoughts are thinking me. That's what momentum does. So you're inspired to those thoughts because the momentum is there. So the only chance you have is when you wake up going to the one that's easier, going to the one that feels good, until it becomes so dominant that it's the one that has the momentum going on it.
So even if it's just like, I love summer, I love this time of year, I love the warmth, I love how it feels to wear, shorts and tank tops, and it just feels so good to have this sun be bathing over me. And just focus on that. And if that's the only thing.
But the thing is, you're really hitting on something important. That's just not meaty enough. In other words, that's just sort of happily boring after a little while. And most of our physical friends, this is a really good So most people, you've heard us say this before if you've been listening to us for a while. We don't say it often, but we really mean it when we say it. Most of our physical friends would rather have negative momentum going than no momentum at all.
And the drama, because
the momentum feels like stuff happening. The momentum brings inspiration. The momentum gets you going. The momentum gives you plenty of other people, because there's a lot of people that will jump on those discs. You get on that high flying "Isn't the Weather Beautiful" disc, and Joan Rivers is going people don't want to talk about that stuff, but you get on some political problem or something that's meatier because you want to feel productive. But until you've given high-flying momentum a chance, you don't know what productive is. In other words, when you really get flying in those high frequencies, you have a leverage of the energy that creates worlds coursing through you, and all kinds of really amazing things begin happening.
So how do I get that? How do I get that passion?
By picking something that interests you and focusing upon it frequently enough that momentum gets going, and by not sabotaging the momentum of it with contradictory thoughts.